Yo, what's good, y'all? I'm back. And today I'm going to be going over why risk management is probably the most important part of trading, right? There's many factors to trading. Um there's a lot of different things you got to be good at. But I I think in my personal opinion risk management is the number one thing. There's always going to be a strategy. There's always going to be, all these different things that you want to be able to master, you want to be able to get down as well. But risk management is one of the things that you really have to become profitable, because if you do not have that, then you're kind of not in a place that you want to be, right? And I'm going to throw out an example, right? Um Sports betting. Right, I was sports betting at a specific time, and I was not profitable in sports betting at first. Right, majority of the reasons why most people aren't profitable in sports betting is maybe their bets aren't hitting, whatever like that. Cool, but the main reason is risk management. Right, you can have some picks that really hit. If you have a 6-man parlay, 5-man parlay, 3-man parlay, whatever it is, you can have the picks that hit, and then you have the picks that don't hit. But the one thing that was screwing me over was the days that I would win. Okay, cool. But the days I would lose, I would see that I'm about to lose or I'm losing, and then I would go in and I would like place like a fourth quarter bet while the game is almost over. And I would place a fourth quarter bet, or I would place like a third quarter bet or whatever like that. If I do an under and it goes over, um on the bet, whatever, so and so, I'll try to place another bet before the game's over to squeeze in some, to try to make my money back that I already knew I lost. And initially that would screw me over, because overall I would have been up from the day before, but then I would be down from today, or the day that I over bet. So when I mastered the art of not over betting, sticking to the plan, because to me, for me, I think sports betting is harder to become profitable in long term, and I did it. So going from being six-figure sports better, then coming into trading, it was like, okay, now I have to understand, like, realistically, I already had the risk management down packed, so that wasn't something that was hard for me to grasp. I already grasped it like within my first like couple weeks in trading. The only thing I really had to do was, because I had 2 years experience, so the only thing I really had to do was master the strategy and come up with a trading plan. I came up with a trading plan, came up with a trading strategy, um, and I tried to use somebody else's strategy. Didn't really work out. It worked out for a little bit, but then like I was profitable for like a week or two, and then I was unprofitable. But then I was like, okay, let me start doing my own shit, because I know I can. I'm really good at analysis. So I would be on the charts like literally like a damn near 24/7. I wasn't even working. I wasn't working. I had the time, so I was sports betting. I was doing my thing, so I was just trading, like trading and sports betting. Once I didn't really have the worry of like, oh damn, I got to make this work. I got to make this work, because I realistically didn't have to, but I had to. Like in my mind, everything I do, I have to get it done. If you get what I'm trying to say, like everything I start doing, I have to. It's either I'm in or I'm out. Like there's no in between. Like, oh, I'm gonna try this and see if it works. No, if I'm gonna start it, I'm going to complete it. I'm going to do it. There's no if, ands, or buts about it. Right. So I got it done. You know, created a plan, did what I had to do, created my strategy, which was trend line breaks, retest, EMAs, whatever like that, and my specific strategy, all that. And then once I created it, I was doing pretty good with it. Took off. My win rate was pretty high. This is I just skipped to the part of like my consistency part. My win rate was pretty high. Everything was going good. Boom, boom, boom. The reason why I didn't go through that major, all like You see, a lot of people say they took years and years and years to become profitable. It wasn't the case for me. And the reason why is because I had the risk management experience. It was the same thing for somebody else I do know that also has a risk management down pack from sports betting. When you actually don't care about the money, or you kind of have a detachment from the money that you're actually trading, stuff like that, funded accounts, live accounts, all those things become a lot easier to do, a lot easier to trade because from going from sports betting to where you understand risk management, you understand all of it because it's a different from understanding and hearing it. Like you can hear it, but you cannot, but you don't fully understand. Because if you fully understand, then you would follow it. You get what I'm trying to say? Most people don't fully understand what I'm talking about right now. If you, let's say for instance, right, you were to take 3 to 4, let's say you were to take 5 trades out of the week, right? All right, so let's say you took a trade. All right, so you took one trade, right? Monday. You took another trade Tuesday. You took another trade Wednesday, right? And you were trying to trade one trade per day, right? You took another trade Thursday and you took another trade we'll make this Friday, right? So you took 5 trades, right? Now let's say out of those 5 trades, right, you only won 2 of them, right? So that's, I don't know what percent win rate that is, but that's less than, that should be around like 30, might be around 30. It's less than 40. I know that. So let's exit these. Boom. Let's exit that out. Let's say you lost this day, you won this day, you lost this day, you won this day, and you lost this day. So you lost 3 out of the 5 days out of the week. All right. Let's say you only won 2 days. That means that those 2 days, that means that theoretically you should be down for the week, right? You should be down for the week. But there's something called risk to reward ratio, which is mainly the easier part about it. Once you get a strategy, once you understand what you got to do, risk to reward ratio is not really that hard to get down. Like it's not really something that you have to really get down packed. It's something that will come with your trading plan. Like for instance, you trade, you know that you know your trade, like your strategy is pretty decent and you know that you can aim for a 1 to 3 consistently. Okay, now you go for a 1 to 3. So let's say, for instance, this day, okay, that's -1, right? That's -1. That's +3. That's -1. That's +3. Uh, all right. And then that's -1, right? So that's -3, but that's +6. So let's add these up right here, right? Um, that's -3, right? But then you add these up right here, and that's +6, right? So obviously this is simple math. 6 - 3, that's 3. So you're left with 3 RR that you just made for the week. Now that 3 RR can equate to 3% or 0.5%. It depends on how much you're risking. That is also what people don't realize as well, right? The more capital you have, the more money you will make. So do not worry about making $1,000 a day, $2,000 a day, $3,000 a day right now. Your whole goal is to perfect the craft of trading. Once you perfect it, or it's you're in perfecting doesn't mean you're gonna win every single time. That's not what perfecting means. Perfecting is just you consistently following your trading plan, following your trading rules, and doing it to absolute perfection, right? To where you do it with ease, with muscle memory, without having to worry about you sitting there like, oh shit, I'm gonna like I need to try to not overtrade today. I need to try to not do this. You can do it with ease. That's what you're trying to get to. You're trying to get to the point of following your plan, not to the point of being rich. That will come in due time, right? So you're gonna be up 3%. All right. So this is the most vital part, and like that people don't understand that they need to understand. The more capital you have, the more money you make. So when I see people that make, because there's a lot of people out here that are profitable traders that make tens of thousands of dollars a day. Some people make hundreds of thousands, right? And people think that's impossible. Well, first you got to look at how they got there, and you got to understand how they got there. And seeing somebody make $10,000 a day, well, to me that's not like, you look at that, that's not crazy, because you have to, once you sit there and you understand like the capital to how much they're risking to how much, you have to understand that does not mean they're over leveraging, right? If somebody has $100,000 and let's say they risk 1% per trade, that means they risk $1,000 per trade. That means that if they can hit a 1 to 3 trade, right, which means that 1 to 3 will multiply the amount of money that they have by 3. That means that they can come out with $3,000. So here, let's say this was a 1 to 3 risk. So, or 1% risk. So let's say this was all 1% risk. He risked 1% this day, lost 1% this day, made $3,000, right? 1% this day, lost 1% this day, made $3,000. 1% this day, lost. So this would be a minus $1,000 loss if this was a $100,000 account. The higher the account goes, the more you go to. So if you have a $10 million account and you're risking, I think that's like 100K per trade. So if they risking $100,000 per trade, this still applies to them, no matter what. However their trading plan is set up, no matter what, if somebody, let's say this happened across 3 people, this exact scenario happened across 3 people, the capital wouldn't matter. It they would make more money, but the percentage and all that will still be the same. They would still come out with 3% on top. They would still make 3% the same exact way as you. They just have more capital, so they make more money. A lot of people don't understand that you will build capital over time. If you have a live account, you will build capital. If you have a funded account, you will basically build up your capital through that account. So you would pass the account, right? Once you pass the account, you make your payouts consistently. Try at least as you're following your plan, you'll make consistent payouts. Then once you make those consistent payouts, you can fund your own live account. Then once you fund your own live account, because what I do, I don't trade 1% per trade. I trade 5% per trade because I understand my risk. I can risk 5% per trade. Somebody can sit there and tell me I'm over leveraging. It doesn't matter to me because I understand how much I'm risking. So for instance, if I if I make, let's say I hit a 1 to 5 one day, right? A 1 to 5 and my win rate is high. That is the reason why I risk 5. Just that is why I risk 5%. Sometimes I might risk 10%. But at the end of the day, I flip my live account and I don't really initially look at it like, okay, I'm trying to flip, but I flip my live account almost every week or so, right? Because I risk 5% per trade. So if I risk 5% and I hit a 1 to 5, I just made 25%. But if I lose a trade, I only lose 5%. So when people, if somebody tells me, hey, you're over risking, like it doesn't mean anything to me because I'm just initially, that's just putting more percentage on my trades. Like I just make more percentage rather than me risking 1%, which to me wouldn't make any sense for me. That this is my plan. If I go to 10%, that's just my plan, right? But like I'm saying, risk is the most important part. Risk management is the most important part of trading. Understanding this will make your trading a whole lot easier, right? Understanding that this overall, me only winning 2 trades out of the 5 days and still being profitable, you'll still come out on top. I had a student that only won 1 trade out of the week. Out of 4 days, he won 1 trade out of 4 days, and he was still up profit. I think $200 something, right? And if you think about that, like he only took one, he only won 1 trade. He lost every other trade. He took one trade per day. You don't have to trade every day. Sometimes you don't have to trade 3 4 times a day. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Like it's understanding the risk and understanding that once you get more capital, that $200 will turn into thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars, maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars one day. Because sky's the limit. There's no limit to what you can do with this, right? Um, and I promise you, it is very possible. So yeah, just I want you guys to take this video and if you guys already know this, then that's great. If you guys don't, then I hope you take this into consideration and understand it, because understanding the art of risk management will separate you from everyone else, because everybody else is looking at the highest win rate strategy. Everybody else is looking at what is the strategy that can make me the most money? How can I go for the highest risk to reward ratio? How can I like how can I have the highest win rate? Win rate matters, but risk management matters more than win rate. I promise you. You can have a 20% win rate and still be profitable. Your RR would just have to be higher, but it's possible. If you go for a 1 to 5 RR, you can still have a 20% win rate and be profitable. In this case, like I've shown you, this is like less than a 40% win rate right here, and you can still be profitable with 3 RR for the week. So if 3 RR for you and you're on a 50K account and you risk 1% per trade, that's $1,500. Is that something that could benefit your life? That doesn't mean you have to go up and quit your job. That means that you can possibly have something else that can benefit you, because also putting yourself in a situation where you have no income is probably one of the worst situations that you can do for trading, because it could either be a good or a bad thing, right? Majority for majority of people, it's a bad thing, because if they have a job, um they have income, so they don't really have to like press trading too much, to where it's like, okay, I need this, I need this, I need this, I need this, because I got to pay my bills tomorrow, and then it puts you in stress. But for some people, it puts them into that grind mode, right? And because I know some of those people that it put into that grind mode. There's people that quit their jobs and took the leap of faith into trading. They put their whole time and all hours and this and this and that to it, and they didn't bullshit, and they got a good outcome of it. But then there's some people that quit their job and then take trading into account, and then it fucks up their whole psychology. So when it comes to quitting your job, you that is part of risk managing as well. Everything you do is risk management. Whether how you spend your money, how you spend your time, all of that is risk management. That is what you're putting out to get a return. So yeah, I recommend just looking at a lot of things in a different perspective, and risk manage trading, time, like I said, with quitting your job, stuff like that too. If you're thinking about leaving your job, just remember that you should risk manage that as well, that part as well. Yeah, I hope you guys like the video. My mentorship is down in the link in the description down below. My Discord is down below if you guys want to join the Discord. And yeah, hope you guys have a great day. Peace.